Hey there, I am back with a deck preview, and today I'm going to be looking at Bridgehouse playing cards from first-time card designer Alex Trichon and his upcoming Kickstarter campaign. The campaign goes live on January 15th, so still a few more days to go. But Alex was kind enough to share this prototype version of the deck with me so that I could show it to you guys and get a little bit of a preview of what you can expect with the campaign when it goes live. So I always like to start out with the inspiration behind the decks, and I think this one has a really beautiful story behind it. The deck is a tribute to Alex's grandpa, who is the one who really got him started in his love of cards. Alex remembers sort of trips out to the beach with his family, and his grandpa was there and would show him every year just sort of like a little simple card trick. Alex would get obsessed with it, play around with cards, go find, buy, steal decks, whatever he needed so that he could practice it all summer, perfect the trick. Now that interest and passion in the playing cards would kind of fade throughout the year, but the next summer his grandpa would show him a new trick and that whole passion would just kind of start all over again. So he wanted to, in remembering his grandpa who's since passed away, he wanted to do a tribute deck as his first deck of cards. I think it's a really cool story. I love getting those kind of little background touches of the cards, but let's find out how it comes to life in the deck itself. And we're gonna start with the tuck. Now remember, this is a prototype deck, so it's printed by MPC, Make Playing Cards. This is not gonna be the final finish or design of the tuck. It's obviously gonna evolve a little bit. The final deck is gonna be printed by USPCC. So you'll see some changes, of course, with it. But starting with the front of the tuck itself, you can see it's just this nice blue color all the way through, and very simple white ink forming most of the design. It says Bridgehouse playing cards. Bridgehouse is a combination of bridge and lighthouse. A couple of elements that you'll find really out at any beach and kind of fitting with that beach and lighthouse theme for the cards. And then the dominant feature is going to be this lighthouse going down the side. Really simple white line drawing. I think it's really clean and simple, really nice design to it. And then you have the beam going out in a lighter blue over the ocean waves below. So really nice. I like how clean the front of this deck is. I think it's a pretty well done. And then on the sides, you've got Alex Trichon on one side and USPCC ad copy on the other. The bottom is where I'm assuming the ad copy is ultimately going to go. And then on the back, you have the other half of Bridgehouse. You have the suspension bridge going out over the ocean on this side. It's not the back design of the cards, but you can see the bridge part of Bridgehouse. And then you got a V1 and an oval over the top, possibly a reference to future versions of this deck to come. There is the tuck case. You can see a little bit. He also sent me this one of the original designs of the tuck case. So you can see how this has evolved over time from the white tuck case over to this blue one. So you can see a little bit of the evolution over time of that tuck. But that's just the tuck case. Let's take a look at the cards inside. So let's get this open. And we're gonna start with the back design of the cards. Here it is. A lot of different details of the beach going all the way through on this blue playing card here. So the majority of it's blue with that white thin poker border. And then you have all kinds of little elements of the beach. Now the center over here is kind of a modified compass rose with that radial pattern going all the way around. This is a little bit of a tribute to his grandpa again. Apparently his grandpa had a really bad sense of direction, so he wanted to use that element as a little bit of a rib towards his grandpa. And then you have the bridge across the top with the sun kind of peeking out at the top there with the ocean. And then in the center framing in, you have both the rocks on the beach and then the lighthouse is extending on either side. Makes a full two-way back design and then finished out by that thin white poker border I mentioned earlier. Now, one of the cool kind of unique touches on this, very simple but unique, is this where the beam of the lighthouse kind of breaks the border on either side. It's a little touch that makes for a nice extra detail when you use this in fans, as we'll see in a little bit. That is the back design of the cards. A lot of little details there, all symbolizing the beach throughout. Pretty clean given the number of elements that are on there. So there is the back design. Extra cards. Now this, may not be final as the deck goes through, but you do have the 2 jokers on here. I actually really like these jokers for as simple as they are. They just feature that compass rose in the center with all those arrows going out. Really nice extra detail, and one that looks, kind of nice if you use this like in a card spin or something like that. It kind of forms that nice little circular pattern in the center. It says Joker, Joker in the corners, and 2 identical. So nice jokers on that one. As Alex was originally inspired by Magic for his love of playing cards, he does include a double backer in here, so you'd expect a nice gaff to come in with this. Double backer, one of the more popular ones to use. And then we get into the deck itself. All right, so we start with the Ace of Spades. Now this is one of the things that's actually changed from the prototype deck. So here's the prototype deck. You've got that simple black spade with the lighthouse and the bridge, or the bridge house there in the background. But this is what the Ace of Spades looks like today. So you can see how it's changed a little bit. Puts the lighthouse a little bit more front and center in forming that overall spade pip. I really like the redesign. I think it's a nice improvement overall in looking at this one. So one of the nice things that he's changed about this as he's evolved from the prototype stages. Now, flipping back to the deck itself, you can see it's got standard, index, and pip in the corners, and that extends to all the number cards. They're gonna be pretty much bicycle standard. Keeps it a nice functional deck all the way through. Now, the other custom detail is gonna be the quartz. This is another thing that's changed somewhat from the prototype, and I think changed for the better. Now here's what they look like in the prototype deck. You can see they're kind of this darker blue and black forming the recoloring. So classic bicycle, but blue and black recoloring, and what I think is kind of a dark look to the court cards. That said, this is what the quartz look like now, and you can see how it's really evolved. Still bicycle standard designs going all the way through, but now it's done in a more subtle recoloring that kind of respects a lot of the patterns that you see on a typical bicycle deck in the court cards. A lot of reds and blues in the recoloring, so I still think it's a really nicely done recoloring, but a lot closer to the original design, and to me, not as dark as the original. So I think another nice change. Getting back to the cards themselves, the rest of the deck is going to be bicycle standard all the way through. So the number cards, diamonds, clubs, and of course the hearts are all going to be bicycle standard. So that's the deck. I think it's a nice, straightforward, very functional deck. As far as uses of the deck, I'm not really going to be able to talk much about the handling other than to say it's going to be the crushed stock from USPCC. So that's going to handle well. This is going to be a deck that, you could definitely use this for cardistry. Using that crushed stock from bicycles, always a plus for cardistry. Not to mention that you have some nice elements on here that really show up well as you use this in fans and other tricks, whether it's that radial pattern in the center, really looking nice in spins, but then also those patterns down the side really start to pop out as you use this in fans. I think it's a nice deck that's going to work well for cardistry. And then for gameplay and Magic, look, having bicycle standard faces with simple customizations on them, I think is really going to help this be very useful if you use this for Magic or gameplay as well. So definitely one of those functional decks as opposed to those really detailed art decks that really are, more just for sitting on a shelf. This is one you're going to be able to use every single day. So that's it. That is the look at the Bridgehouse playing cards. Hope you guys enjoyed that look. A couple other details I can share. One of the things that Alex promises is that there's going to be some stretch goals associated with the campaign. And one of the prominent ones he mentions is there's going to be one for a reverse color back. So if you like this design, he's also got one that he's working on with basically reverse colors on both the back and the tuck case, where now white becomes the primary and then blue design. So giving you a little bit of a different look and a different version of the deck as well. So that's going to be one of the stretch goals in the campaign. Now, as I said before, the campaign itself starts on January 15th, so just a few days away. I'll put a link down in the description to Alex's Instagram where you can find out a little bit more about the campaign if you're interested. All right, hope you guys enjoyed that. Nice first design from Alex Trichon with this one. I think it's great that guys are getting out there and sharing their art with the playing card community. All right, thanks for watching. Subscribe for more deck reviews and unboxings. Don't forget, if you're interested in signing up for the giveaway of the Evil deck from Third Way Industries, you'll want to go back and check out that video. Just 1 day left to enter that one. Be announcing a winner in the next day or two. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you for the next one.